Hello, my diamonds and my Teletubbies. SheilaTruelove here with you. I'm, I was having a great day. I get up in the morning, I do my ministry, and everything is just so beautiful. I do my motivation and power thoughts and, try to keep everyone spiritually upbuilt. And then I get on the bus. Yeah, and I'm, normally when I get on the bus, I focus on building up my brother, my bestie, and someone who I have Bible study with. And then I look at I'm on the bus and I'm looking at my messages and I check my messages and I have 3 of my subscribers or followers or supporters, whatever you call them. And they sent me this TikTok with my son because, he blocked me on his social media. Whatever, for what I'm just done with whatever, and they sent me what he was saying on TikTok. I guess he thought that I wouldn't get wind of it, but you have people out here who they're like shocked at the kind of things that he's saying about me, because on my channel I have done nothing but promote him. I have spoke very highly of him, and I always do response videos. He makes these videos first and then I just respond to them. You see, I wouldn't have to respond to them if he wasn't making these videos. And then these people sent it to me, and they're like, Sheila, did you see this? Or Miss True Love, did you see? I said 3 people sent this video to me. Now, the reason I share some of my personal experiences is to remind you that you're not the only one who's suffering when it comes to these adult children. This is ridiculous. And a lot of times, you have a lot of the parents who often feel isolated in their pain. And they're thinking that no one else can possibly understand what they're going through. But the truth is, so many of us are facing the same challenges. So let me just let you hear what he has to say. What else is new, child? And here we go.
So I want to take a moment. One thing adult children of emotionally immature parents have got to realize is that your parent will never take accountability. And not only will they not take accountability, they'll also try to victimize themselves. Victimization is a classic hallmark with emotionally immature parents.
Let's address each piece as we go along. I'm not emotionally immature. The example of an emotionally immature parent is like Black China's mother. I think her name is Tokyo Tony. Yeah. No, I'm far from being emotionally immature. And I am never a victim. I'm always victorious, never a victim. But you have a lot of these adult children who they deflect a lot. They like to deflect. Things that they are guilty of, that's what they accuse their parents of. That's it. I have no problem taking accountability, as I have done numerous times. I'm serious. I've done this accountability thing at least, and Jehovah and Jesus is my witness, at least 50 times.
Always trying to make it seem as though you were the problem. You were the one to blame. Your requests for respect were too much. The truth is this. A lot of emotionally immature parents lack the ego strength necessary to really take accountability. They also like to project their own guilt and shame. They're so guilty about.
Now, my definition, we gotta try to clear this up. What is your definition of taking accountability? Because my definition of taking accountability is you apologize. You acknowledge that you were wrong. You say that you're sorry. And you work really hard to make the necessary changes. And when you're talking about parents having guilt and shame, honey, I have no guilt at all. None. He has guilt for the way he's disrespecting me. And when it comes to shame, well, I think he should be ashamed. Now, what I have is regret. I have some regrets that I wish I could go back in time and redo a couple of things. But when it comes to guilt and shame, why should I be guilty or feel ashamed of having raised 2 successful children? As a single parent, thanks to Jehovah God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. Why do I have guilt and shame again? I'm sorry, help me understand. No, I have regret, and I have, something that I have no control over. I can't go back in history and try to redo things. I regret the things that I've done. You're making mistakes, bad choices, and bad decisions. Do I feel bad about that? Of course I do. There are days, my diamonds and my Teletubbies, when I'm in my office and I cry. I cry when I think about some of the things that I wasn't good at. So when it comes to this guilt and shame, here we go with the deflection, reflection, whatever, projection, call it what you want to. He has every reason to have guilt and shame because everything he's speaking about, he knows that Jehovah God don't support it, the Bible don't support it, Jesus don't support it. Disrespecting your parents on social media when I asked you, look, respect my boundaries. Don't be making videos negative about me. And if you do insist on it, at least have me there with you. I looked at some of the comments on his whatever here, and they even said the same thing that I've been suggesting. Why don't you make a video with your mom? That way we can, draw the proper conclusion. And he refuses to do that because he knows he's not being honest.
How they raised their kids or didn't raise their kids, that they basically just project. They project guilt and shame onto the child.
No, child.
Trying to make it the child's fault. Oh, the child disrespected me. Oh, the child did this. Or the child lacks gratitude for all my sacrifices and all my efforts. They don't take into consideration the numerous abuses that they committed against their children. They don't take into consideration the numerous boundaries.
Now you notice how he keeps saying the numerous abuses that you created against your who? Your children. You're not a child anymore. That ship has sailed. And no, I don't sit up here and blame my children. I don't blame my children. How can you blame children? They're children. When they're younger, they were children. How can you blame them for anything? I mean, let's make some sense out of this. But you know what? I'm not too angry at him because he can't help how he feels. People feel the way they feel. I'm just responding. Like I said, I didn't even think to make these kind of videos, and I'm shocked. But I will definitely respond. Because there are so many people who they need to know that your feelings are valid, moms. You're not the only one going through it. And by sharing my situation, I'm hoping that this gives you some kind of strength when you feel like you're vulnerable. Because I wouldn't even be making these kind of videos if he wasn't making these kind of videos that he's making. Everything I'm saying, as you notice, is like it's a reaction. A reaction.
Violations. They don't take into consideration how their poor behavior affected the child's development. They never take into consideration. In fact, they want you to raise them.
What?
They want you to understand how trauma affected them and how this...
You see what I'm saying? They want... What? First of all, you can never raise me. You're not qualified or equipped enough to raise me, ever. And you're talking about they want you to understand their trauma. We're supposed to be understanding each other. You see where he's coming from? He's coming from a place of a child. And he has arrested development. That's what I'm noticing. And I'm not even a licensed therapist, but I can see that he has arrested development. He can't seem to get past his childhood. His traumas. We all have had traumas. So you're supposed to work through it. Anyway, he can't seem to just have self-awareness. He doesn't see. And here he is with another video, and he's talking about respect boundaries. When do you get to respect my boundaries? I'm your mother. Like the Bible says, God and Jesus, the Bible agree with me. Do not forsake the instruction of your mother. It says mother, not father. It says your mother. He don't listen. I gave you instruction. I didn't even tell him. I asked him. Very politely, because he's an adult. He's a man. And I asked him nicely, stop making these kind of videos if you're not going to have me on board. And what does he do? Totally disrespect my boundaries, have no regard for my feelings, and he's given Jehovah and Jesus Christ his middle finger to rotate on, pretty much.
Affected them. And while you do make space for that, while you do understand that they're not perfect, and while you do say to them, look, I'm willing to move forward.
No, you're not. You see why he don't do videos with me? What he said, you're not perfect. No, baby, he don't believe in the 80-20. As long as you're getting 80% of what you need, that's cool. The 20%, people mess up. Don't sit up there. This is what I'm saying. I want to say he's being dishonest, and that's sugarcoating it. No, he's lying. He's outright lying. He don't give you no, let's move past this. No, I'm the one who's always saying, let's live in the present. The past is the past. How many times have you seen on my channel me constantly quoting and bringing up Philippians chapter 3, verse 12 through 15? Just look through in my channel, and all my supporters, if you will, or subscribers, followers, whatever you choose to call yourself. I'm always the one to say, let go of the past. Let's just get past it. My children are the ones who are constantly the victim. I'm victorious. I don't know about that nonsense being a victim. What? No, that don't even sit well with me or register with me. Not a woman of my caliber or my character. Not at all.
They still find it difficult, even in the present, to respect you.
Lies.
They still find it difficult to respect your boundaries. They feel that 2 boundaries are too many.
2 boundaries?
You know, with my...
More lies. He don't have 2 boundaries, sweetheart. Let me tell you, you look at this dude's channel, when you look at his love language, he has like a whole freaking, the scroll. When Moses went up there and got the scroll, he has a whole list. You don't have no 2 boundaries. His boundary is, you better agree with me and you better feel the way I feel. Okay, maybe he's right. Yeah, those are his boundaries. Now tell me, who do you know that's going to agree with those boundaries? Those are ridiculous, foolish, agree with everything I say, and you have to feel the way I feel and validate me at all times now. Don't you ever, ever, ever give me constructive observations or criticisms if you want to say. Come on, those are his boundaries. Who's going to sign up for that? I'm sorry. Help me understand. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected because I'm very humble. I love it when someone can, bring something to my attention. Not him. Don't you ever disagree with him. That's one of his boundaries. That's ridiculous.
Parent, I had to go no contact because I realized that, for one, no matter what I did to try and bring to her attention how her behavior was affecting me, it went in one ear and out the other. She did not.
And I'm telling you how your behavior is affecting me. It didn't even go in one ear and out the other. I was talking to the ceiling, child. What he doesn't understand is this works both ways. But his rationale is that you're the parent. I'm not supposed to sacrifice for you. I'm not supposed to understand you. I'm not supposed to do pretty much any damn thing for you. You're supposed to brown nose and kiss my rear end. That's what you're supposed to do. He doesn't understand the concept that, this works both ways. You want respect and you also have to give it. Oh, no. He doesn't get it. Whatever, child.
Trust my judgment. She did not trust me. She
Trust
thought I
your
was
judgment.
being overly sensitive. I was being hypercritical. I was being all these things. And
how can you trust the judgment of someone who finds fault with everyone? It's always everyone else's fault. And you're going to hear him talk about it. My friends, my employer, my this. Everybody's at fault. Trust your judgment. I look at I call life the book of life. What chapter, what age is he? That's called the chapter. And then what age am I? That's the chapter. Because you have a lot of these adult children, they eventually, when they grow up, he's having a hard time because he has arrested development. But when they finally grow up, they say, oh my God, you know, my mom, she made some really good points and she was right. She was just right. And not that I care about being right. I don't care about all that. I care about the development and the success of my children. I don't give a damn about who's right and who's wrong. I care about peace, joy, happiness, and let's just move on. And yet it seems like that's never going to happen because you have to get some help. Arrested development, please do your research and see what that's all about. Please.
The truth is, I was not.
Do you know
but
the truth?
Once again, she wants to sit up there and act as though I was being I was the one that was the problem, which is oftentimes, once again, just deflecting. She was deflecting.
How can a parent say that the child is the problem? I mean, let's use common sense. Like, I am a Capricorn, I'm very sensible, and I'm practical, and common sense, how is the child the problem? I never accuse my children of being the problem. I brought certain things to your attention that maybe you need to reflect on, take a look at, and make a couple of adjustments. It was just that simple. It wasn't this big freaking mountain that he's turning everything into. Maybe you need to just do some critical thinking for a moment.
She chose to avoid accountability and just blame. Blame.
That's him. That's him. And watch, I'm going to prove it. I don't have to prove it. He's going to prove it. Watch. Just keep listening.
I'm just to the point where you go right ahead. I will not tolerate disrespect in my adult life.
Oh, whatever.
I already put up with too much disrespect from her.
Look.
From other people in relationships.
Hold on. Here it comes. The blame game. I put up disrespect. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited because he's proving me right constantly. Let's go back a little bit more. Let's just go back.
From co-workers.
Look,
from friends.
Hold on.
Blame.
Look.
I'm just to the point where you go right ahead. I will not tolerate disrespect in my adult life. I already put up with too much disrespect from her, from other people in relationships, from co-workers, from friends. No more. And I realized that the reason why I put up...
But you see how he always blames everyone. He has issues with his supervisor. She's just trying to make herself seem superior. No, she's the supervisor for a reason. You know what I mean? But it's always his friends, it's his co-workers. That means the people that he worked with, his peers. He has issues with them too. It's always someone else's fault. And when I try to bring this to his attention, yeah, good luck with that.
With those dysfunctional dynamics in my personal relationship.
Hold on. Check this out. This is going to be a good one too. Here comes the blame. The reason why I put up with all of this is not because I'm just a coward and I have no guts. And it's not because I hate confrontation and I don't like to confront things. Let's listen to why he put up with all of this. Here comes the blame on the parents. It's always because of you. Here it comes. Oh, child.
And also work relationships is because of my first relationship with my parents.
You see?
I realized that I tolerated so many boundary violations, times where my mother would just bust in my room or force me to talk about things that I was not ready to talk about.
Now you want
just
to
force you to talk about it.
Wait. Let's correct that. I bust inside your room. Now that's, again, he's back in his childhood. And anytime a parent busts inside your room, the way my character is, sweetheart, is because I was either calling you or asking you, not telling you, but asking you to address something, and you weren't listening. You wasn't listening. For everything that I do, there's always a reason behind it. Now, I could have been having cocktails too, because like I told you, being a Jehovah's Witness, majority of them drink every day, every other day. I would say a good 75%, 85% of them have alcohol issues. I've never been one to drink every day, every week, every month. No. I was sporadic. And maybe I did overreact, busting inside the room. At the same time, I was probably, I can't say. And if that was so horrible, I have no problem apologizing. But for everything a person do, there's a reason.
It was a form of emotional rape, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah. This is a more bull crap. She's forcing me to talk about things that I don't want to talk about. Let me tell you. I love my family so much, and I like to keep the peace in my house. So every Saturday we had family meetings. And there was times when we would talk about things to clear the air, like what did this person do that got on your nerve? What happened throughout the week that you really want to address and fix it? And then if you didn't want to talk about something, I would say, okay, whatever. But the thing is, this is his sister talking. When he's talking about, you want to talk about things that I don't want to talk about, that's deflection from his sister. He's been listening to her. She always wants to talk about this Jehovah's Witness thing. I keep trying to tell her I don't want to talk about it because I know where it's going to lead. I was never pushing any of my children to talk about something that they didn't want to talk about unless it was of urgency. Because you see, I'm a firm believer that it's always good to catch something while it's small. Nip it in the bud while it's small before it spirals out of control. There were things that my daughter should have talked to me about, and she wouldn't be in the situation, kind of like she got herself in some situations, if you will. You know? I'm not going to force you to talk about anything forced. It was emotional. What rate? My children know how to exaggerate. They should write novels. No more poetry writing. No, he write poetry. No, baby, you need to write a novel. And it's called drama.
It's emotional rape trying to force your kids to talk about things that they really are not ready to talk about.
What a lie.
And then intimidating them, threatening them with physical abuse, the verbal abuse, emotional abuse.
Physical abuse, there comes a time when a parent have to, like they say, spare the rod, you spoil the child. And if the scripture said, beat them, they will not die. No, I didn't take unnecessary measures that I had to take as a parent. There was times, maybe I could think 2 or 3 times when I overdid it because my daughter, she would just push you to all kind of levels, honey. It got to the point where I had to call the police. I called the police, not them. And I said, come and get her, honey. Please come and get her because I'm going to hurt her. Everything I said, she would challenge it, and he would side with her. I'm trying to raise children that are successful. Children, I'm working hard as a single parent, and I'm not making no excuse, honey. I'm giving you a reason. Excuses should be excused. Reasons, it helps you to have insight. So don't sit up here like he will never, ever, listen to me when I tell you, he will never do a video with him and me. Even people who are following him, they said in the comments, they said, why don't you do a video with your mom so you can just clear the air? He will never do it because he's lying. There you go. He's not being honest.
Not respecting their religious beliefs.
What? Stop that. I'm sorry. He don't respect my spiritual beliefs. I talk and I speak the truth about Jehovah's Witnesses. 55 years of my life, I was in that religion, that organization. And when I get on my channel and I speak about it, my experience, he can talk about all of his experiences, but I'm not allowed to talk about my Jehovah's Witness experience and all the other people who have, oh my God, their family has been broken and tore up from the top to the bottom. From the bottom all the way through the top, that's what they do. And I simply said to him, look, honey, since you can't seem to figure this out, anytime I'm saying something on my channel about Jehovah's Witnesses, all you have to simply do is don't look at it. How hard is that for you to figure out? You have no regard for my spiritual belief. He claims he loves Jehovah, but that's a lie. Another lie. He claims that he follows Jesus' teachings. Another lie. He follows the governing body. If the governing body, I'm going to prove my point again. Here we go, because I always come with evidence and facts. If the governing body were to tell him, you have to take down certain videos, he would take them down in the blink of an eye, at the drop of a hat. But I ask you to remove certain videos, and you tell me pretty much, F you, screw you, up yours. But let that governing body or the elders in that freaking organization tell him this is disrespectful regarding your parents, or a lot of things you have on your Instagram. Because, yeah, I have people that sent me some stuff from that too. And on your Facebook, and the elders tell you to take that down, he would take it down. You hear me? I say something and make a suggestion. I don't tell you anything. I ask you. I make suggestions. Governing body elders, they tell you pretty much. He would take it down in a heartbeat. Blink your eyes and it would be gone. He have no regard, no respect for me at all. And you want to talk about respect? Really? We're going to have to make a part 2 with this one. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. And I got some real treats that I got set up for you. Woo! You're going to love it.